RBG in that recent affair.
Yeah.
So maybe feeling like they have that edge, a little anti-stratting, could see the bit of play here.
I mean, the good thing about that was that it wasn't a whitewash. You know, with 6-9, 5-7 second half as well. You feel like you have a chance. So you're right. Andy's tried a little bit in as well. It's definitely not the expected pick. GODSENT were also probably thinking of something more in the lines of an Inferno to come through. They did also second on Bandit, so to some extent they have to respect it. So I'm guessing if GODSENT was going to do much research for this, it wasn't going to be for Vertigo unless they plan to pick it themselves. But now Phelps inches forward, tries to block out the smoke. Does at least help out a little bit, but nothing too great. In the meanwhile, already RBG up onto the bomb site they go. Phelps unable to find the instant headshot, but he's being tagged up in the meanwhile. Hex is up close and personal. That's the kill. Bomb could be planted as well. Grenade chucked out, and that would be some good damage, but not the frag.
Flash in, they're trying to collapse on the bomb site, so this is really working out. Dumao, nice crisp and clean. Taco as well combining. 3-on-3 now, and they do have a kit here on the CT side. With the additional kills, that makes things a whole lot more dicey for RBG.
Jitter and Wiz have got to make this work. Wiz has got one quickly, but he can't find it inside the smoke. Dumao with the kit, and Wiz even trying to go for a knife. Now just wants some money, some style points, but all he's getting is a CD watching him from behind thinking, what the hell are you doing, mate? Bomb's already defused.
Yeah, it was really whippy there from Wiz to get that first kill, but then there's not being able to line up for the diffuser. The kit and the smoking towards that front of the site, just too disruptive. Really great shots from Dumao to get things done. And I actually thought as well, you know, coming into the pistol, it was a good point to maybe highlight. You know, Phelps does feel like a win condition for GODSENT quite often when we see them in these best-of-3 series. So,
yeah.
Thought he was going to have a big round, only for him to effectively do nothing but stall time, which seemed to be enough.
I mean, Michael, I don't know, man. Barden and Duma really have my heart.
Yeah.
I have to say, these two are nuts. I mean, they're the players who, I look at them and I think, man, MIB really missed out. Of course, GODSENT, they're more than happy with these acquisitions and nowhere to go but up for them. Now, Phelps is playing a bit of a dangerous game as he is going to be waiting for those AKs to peek into him. Never fun, especially in such a commonly held angle, but Phelps is able to take advantage of the verticality element of it. Phelps backing off while Jitter on a single point of HP. Might want to give that AK over to someone else, buddy.
That's the danger of sitting in towards the tarp, just getting spammed in as soon as they realize that you're around the other side. A lot of damage being dealt to the CT side as well, but that solitary man with the 1 HP, not exactly fancying his chances. They do move in, and Chop does go 1 for 1, but Lado and Dumao do sweep up the pieces. Nice little 3K there from Dumao, just inserting himself into the action between the smokes and between players that he could provide that support.
I love it. Just from pistol round onwards, Dumao is activated. He is ready to rock and roll. Always good to see that. Obviously, the other thing to keep in mind over here is that there is going to be a firepower disparity to some extent. You know, RBG, let's not make any... let's not mince our words about it. They can definitely come out on top in a couple of regards. And I think individually as well, on 1 or 2 players, they can definitely really match up to it. But in large part, GODSENT's the one with all the resources. GODSENT, the one who's played in Europe, had a lot more boot camping. For good reasons, as far as structural reasons are concerned, you're expecting them to be able to take a lot of these duels out more aggressively and win them out. So, you know, you do want to see these younger players maybe come into their own and show off a little bit more, in my opinion.
Yeah, the big thing with RBG was always that they, if I'm not mistaken, Walco is the caller, but I was always quite a big admirer of the way that they read the mid-round.
Yes.
And just being able to adapt to the situation, whether it called for rotations or an adaptation into the next round. But that really felt like RBG's strength. CT or T side, they do take a couple proactive steps if necessary, but yeah, I do worry that they might not even get to that stage if GODSENT just come in with this heavy confidence and can just take the fights where you might be able to adapt, you might have the right call, but then suddenly, you know, there's Dumao or there's Barton, or there's Phelps just running at you, and that's something that's hard to predict or really counteract.
It's very interesting to me because when you look at all the regions, you know, North America, Asia, Europe, certain regions obviously have their own strengths. Europe, obviously, look, man, you can't get around it. They are very much all-rounders in a lot of capacities on their best teams. But in a lot of these semi-pro teams in North America, I always feel like mid-rounding can be a very big strength for the ones that are able to come through these qualifiers and whatnot. And they very heavily rely on it too sometimes. So the question is always, when are they going to add that one extra dimension to that mid-rounding to be able to actually, you know, come up with some big wins, some big upsets? And they've gotten close a few times. I don't want to take anything away from RBG. I do actually think that if I had to rank them, they would be the 3rd seed for me. But obviously have to come through and prove themselves on the server as well. 3rd seed in the group, by the way, just to clarify. I don't want to go out there.
In the world?
Yeah, in
RBG
the world.
coming for the top spot.
I was like, Navi, Gambit, and then it's RBG.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly sing their praises as much as possible, but yeah, that's a little far away. Like they want the best Navi as a 5, and that's a fantastic way to open a round here for RBG. Still keeping those 5 men up. The boost play over at B does punish Taco's investigative nature. And so now this might pull this additional player in from GODSENT. You can see they've got this 2-man setup. RBG not really making moves that direction just yet, but utility sailing over towards Lato's site. So he has called another player over. That will be Phelps to come in to support.
25 seconds and RBG are really running down the time. They do have an incendiary, but are they actually going to want to use it? They don't use it, and Hex is forced to trade instead. Phelps volleyed off, is forced off the angle, going back towards Lift, but decides to instead wait. Doom out through the smoke is keyed in. This man's connected to the server with wires from his arms, apparently. And Wiz, well, he's going to be caught out pretty soon too, as Phelps backs off and just gets a secondary spray down. He's already getting ready for the post-update M4. He's going to be very happy about that as soon as it comes through. Wild Cook, good frag, but can't double it up, and it all comes out of Chop. HP is pretty limited, so he has to take the fuels out to win them. Gets the first, beautifully done! Whoa! Chop's got 2!
Absolute decapitation from Chop for a 1-on-2. Just headshot after headshot, doesn't let them think for a moment. Wasn't expecting that flare to come out from him. Sometimes feels like quite the supportive element when it comes to taking these sites, but now called into a key round for RBG. We'll bring it just over the line. It is certainly a close round. Also not going to be too happy about that one slipping on by. Meanwhile, 4 rounds in, by the way, Dumal's on 9.
Oh, Duma almost makes it 10, but that trade is a bit too quick for him. Phelps, at the very least, will keep it even. But GODSENT's money is very much questionable, and especially with Taco going down, that's another rifle heading the deck.
Molly's in a B as well. Jitter providing a distraction. Players are coming to reinforce, but legs will be spotted, I imagine, soon. But the pillar does protect for just a moment. Jitter is blinded. He's down to low HP, so Hex has to bail him out. While Molotovs will make its way onto the site, the nade is actually what finishes off the job. There is the potential for a flank here on Phelps, but with a CZ, it is such a difficult fight to get going because these are quite long-range duels.
Honestly, I'm really liking Jitter's play so far. It's a few of these smaller things, but just the instantly moving back to recognize that you have to threaten the player behind the smoke. If there is one, Hex finds Phelps in the meanwhile. Lato's just going to try to save. But if you're not threatening the player on the default bomb site, if you're just playing further back to prioritize your own safety, your team is potentially going to be caught off by that dissipating smoke, and the fading smoke can just mean, hey, that guy just gets 1, maybe 2 kills. You don't give GODSENT a chance like that to step up, because Jitter is able to then safely duck back behind the pillar as well. He knows that the position isn't too much at risk unless there's a secondary supportive utility comes through, and that is what ends up killing him later on. But I just appreciate the selfless nature of just Wing forward.
Yeah, it's securing an area for your team to get in safely, as opposed to, you know, looking to cut off rotations. Because sometimes when you're going for those entry paths, that can be a key objective, right? You want to take the fastest entry route to get into maybe CT spawn or the like. Yeah. But by taking the longer route, yeah, he does flush out that player sitting behind that smoke to prevent exactly what you're talking about. So Yeah, it is a nice little detail. Creator of opportunities, and holding outside of B, it's a double peek. So that saved rifle does have some impact. The weapon recovered. Taco will bear it. Meanwhile, the spacing towards middle, they're trying to traverse nice and slow.
They don't actually lose out the rifle yet, though. Taco's got the AK. Rather, they do lose the M4, but Taco's still got an AK. Coming for the flank. They should have expected that one. Phelps, in the meanwhile, so much damage dealt with the USB. Taco's going to try and go for this. He doesn't have Kevlar or a kit, but seems like with a Molotov in his way, now there's only one way to go. That's forward. He finds a quick kill. They're not able to hear him out. Some comms issues must be going on here. Taco with a grenade in his hand, though, will give them the round straight back. Even so, that is definitely a couple of internal problems. The fact that they're not expecting Taco, the call must have just been made that they expected him to push through and maybe try and go for a late flank, but
I actually think that just really came down to a smoke blooming and then a Molotov popping at the same time as he's running through that smoke.
Oh no, I meant earlier when he peeked down mid through connector. When he got the first kill.
Ah.
Yeah, but good call. You're right. Definitely some confusion.
Yeah, when he was pushing through the smoke, I was a little confused. Too many sounds and too many headshots here for RBG. GODSENT constantly put under the scalpel. They are getting kind of picked apart, in all honesty. These entries from RBG have looked rather good these past few rounds. And this is a buy here from GODSENT where they don't have exactly like the most utility to feasibly end up in retakes. No kits. Got one flash.
I am very much digging it. Have to wait to see, as Phelps is going to be looking to get a bit aggressive, but again, that one flash has been used. Can they actually do anything in the meanwhile? Phelps catching out a player with a grenade in his hand. There's a bit of fire behind him, so he can't retreat just yet, and instead might just want to go forward. Re-smokes the back line so that he has an isolated duel, but with the USB out this time, he's nowhere near as successful with it.
Oh, flashes are good here for RBG. Lotto had the elevation, but couldn't quite see them. Now that the flashes have dissipated, out in the open was Wiz. So a 2-on-3 where these players are low. Nade not going to quite connect, but tagging these players even lower. But the follow-up does finish off the job. Barton surviving on one.
All comes down to heads over head. Has to buy some time for Chop. Good damage dealt to try and keep them away. Not damage, rather, but just good suppressive fire. They can't, however, pretend to be sticking the bomb. Hex is going to prevent any sort of machinations, and Dumao is forced back. He'll protect the M4, at least attempt to do so. Peek inwards comes through, and a few missed shots means that Chop can make quick work of him. CT economy is looking mighty poor. And Michael, I just looked up the Vertigo match that these two teams played up against each other, the one that you were referring back in the Fragadelphia. Taco had a 174 rating in that, 29 and 13. I can forgive RBG for thinking, yeah, that's probably a one-off.
Yeah, you don't really look to Taco to pull in that heavy firepower. Not that he can't do it from time to time, as is, I suppose, an example of that game, but the consistency is in those three players we highlighted earlier. Upgraded pistol buy. They've already found an opening kill, so SMG, all that's really taken forward, but such heavy presence from GODSENT. They want more.
I just want to rush in through towards his bridge, but having smoked it off, there's no one else to find. Back to B they go. Hurry, hurry, hurry. That's the call, but the CTs, they're going to rotate through as well. Taco's the only one really there, and that's a USB. Phelps might have looked very deadly with it, Taco, but getting a kill on these angles, ooh, I don't envy you. Lado goes down already. Taco, likely soon to be joining him in the grave.
Yeah, not too much drama.
Yeah, well, at least one AK drop.
Yeah, irretrievable is the main issue. So gonna try and set up for exits. Barton, of course, can cut them off should they go through spawn. Dumal's hippity-hoppiting out of the property of RBG. So
yeah, he needs to save the Kevlar with the kind of money he has right now. Oh, nicely done from Walco. Even baits out the shot there. He's ensuring his retreat.
I mean, very reactive call there from RBG, but reading the situation quite well. Not exactly spotting out all of the players or the heavy presence there from GODSENT, but considering that there was utility sailing their direction, it was enough of information gathered there that they could feel a little bit more comfortable in going towards that B execute, which, in all fairness, RBG have really shown an ability to take this B bomb site quite convincingly, which is always a positive sign as well. That goes into that discussion again of the preparation. And when they've gone over towards A, how many times have we seen Phelps in like really uncomfortable duels? He's constantly in these positions where he's getting either sandwiched or he's stranded, or he's in a 1v1 fight where some of his best work is done when somebody else can drag that attention, you know, just working off the mechanics and being able to get the multi-kills that you need from him. So RBG are doing a great job at the moment of limiting Phelps's effectiveness, as well as, you know, constantly rebounding between the A and the B bomb site. There's no predictability about how they've approached these rounds.
No, I'm absolutely loving this from them. They could very well be putting themselves in position to, dare I say, chase double digits in this half if they're able to win this round out. And CT economy has also been continuously restricted. GODSENT's not able to save these weapons either, but Phelps with a kill through the smoke, that's not a good way to start things. RBG this time getting caught off, and the M4A1 really rearing its head before the buff can even be put into place. Oh, this could be big.
Oh, gap in the smoke as well.
That's a perfect position for Phelps to be fighting in from, especially with the M4 again, like I mentioned. This is where it becomes so hard to trace it out and react to it in time. 2 kills already found. GODSENT aren't going to be giving up this round without a fight. It all comes down to this mid duel, though. Barton taking out Hex means this round is basically over. There isn't the time to get onto the bomb site. There aren't the utility present, and Taco's flank should be the game changer. Oh, but Chop, at least he gets some damage with.
God damn, this guy is whippy with it. Had a nice little 1v2 earlier, and now 2 back-to-back headshots that look oh so clean, but still no round. Trying to trickling in after losing that first player through smoke via Phelps. Felt like a lot of 1-for-1 exchanges that could have been propped up only for RBG to get caught out by some of the positions that GODSENT had put themselves in, you know, creating that flank opportunity, that little gap in the smoke over towards short as well. And so while they tried to make use of like 1 or 2 players getting forward and trying to take fights to equalize the numbers, they got uncomfortable.
Turns out they can actually dish out as good as they get dealt. Phelps goes down, and over here with that 1 hero AK, finding the singular kill is incredibly important. You can see how much space is freed up over in mid. Hex will not be expected. Barton's made the call, and Hex can actually circle around to try and get both, but he's getting double-minded about it. Has to consider this. Comes through from the back, but he misses the shots. Taco with his head turned. That's a free kill that should have been theirs any day of the week, and now they have to overwhelm, but Walco's the man to do it. 2 kills so far. Taco's an easy one. Bomb's been planted. The advantage has been gained. They can't recover the rifles yet, but as Dumao chases forward, the flashbang had to be avoided. Walco's already underneath him, though, and this hero AK couldn't get any more heroic. It's 4 players down already. Wiz all alone. A Glock to his name. Nowhere near enough, but maybe, just maybe, there's a chance. Although Lotto wants nothing to do with it. Man, if that had been a Deagle, he can play that so much more cool, calm, and collected.
What more could you ask for from Walco as well? You imagine that 1 kill that's found there from Hex, you know, creates this path of least resistance in towards the B bomb site, would have likely secured the plant. Yeah, gives them another rifle to work off from the post plant as well. But that missed opportunity, that you'd have to be kicking yourself, especially because it comes down to 1 solitary man there from GODSENT. Such a missed opportunity, but GODSENT will be happy to have tied things up, courtesy of Lotto. And I haven't seen too many teams utilize that boost over towards A ramp, you know, to try and get that peak on towards short.
It's very rare. Generally, it's on the other side, yeah.
Yeah, not to mention that it frequently gets naded, spammed.
But I love the fact that they go for it in the hero AK round as well. Because, you know, that's when you have to pull out something kind of weird and funky. Oh, there goes out the smoke. Molotov is there as well. Dumao has to be careful. Utility's been raining in, and Hex is snappy as well. I don't know what they're feeding RBG, but they've got wrists made of titanium. Flexible and alloy and deadly.
Yeah, some machine engineered stuff. Gears are turning and the machine is lubed.
Taco. Forward, and oh, there goes Hex. There's a second one as well. Just immediately cutting him off at the shoulders, and this is where Hex just wants to trail forward, use that low HP to his advantage, get some information out from it as well. Just get as much utility used up as possible early on. Remember, you can't drop nades yet. Of course, if there's anyone who's tuning in and is doubting what update we're on because of all the M4A1s on GODSENT side, we are, of course, still using the previous update. I feel like that's a legitimate concern.
As if you weren't using the A1S even before this update. Now you're in a power position. Yeah, still some time before we see that into proper play. I know there's a lot of people freaking out about stuff. And only time will tell.
How much difference there is to the actual damage values, by the way?
Oh yeah, 30. I think it's 33 to 38.
What?
Deagle nerfed from 63 per shot to 53.
Wait, it went from 33 to 38? That's insane.
Yeah. Lower
That's
armor
a
penetration than the AK, but higher damage per shot.
Yeah, that's a 3-bullet kill, isn't it? Like even on mid range.
When with armor penetration, you get a damage reduction.
Okay, but I know that. But I'm gonna have to check that one out later on though. Phelps in the meanwhile. Dropping straight down over. There's a man pushing through the smoke on this side into the tarp. He has to be careful as he's caught up by the Molotov. Dumao's here to defend, but Walco can trade right back, and a grenade looks oh so pretty.
Gonna try to want to get out of there on the side of Lotto. Hovering around just to throw a nade, a flash as well to try and act as parting gift, but able to turn in time. Too much time for action there for Wiz. This A site does feel like it's being exploited as a vulnerability. That's Barden just keeping hold of things.
Very important kill for them to find, but RBG still got so much time they want to move back towards that B bomb site. The only player they have to be worried about is Taco, who is very low but solid position to be good for a single.
Well, chops onto the ladder, but makes his way quickly back up.
He's made a bit of noise as well. They know exactly what's going on. Flashbang overhead. There's no offensive utility. They can't stop the bomb from being planted. A molly on the connector too. Taco's trying to circle around and move in for the flank. Or is he? Wait, what's going on, Taco?
Now he's going down the ladder? I think he wasn't too sure about this being a B-sided play, but now he's going for the flank instead. Has to rely on Barton to draw a lot of attention.
And Barton's the only one with a kit, so if he goes down, attention's not the only thing that's being drawn over here. He needs to stay alive at the same time. Such a difficult place to be. But Walt goes down, Hex is next, and the bomb can be defused. Taco, come on, man. You can't just come in and take the bomb defuse away.
But it's a Barton 4K to get GODSENT a 6th round. Little indecision from the man of much experience here on the GODSENT side, but relying on that young gun to provide everything needed. Great job there from Barton, just finding those isolated fights as well. You could see RBG were kind of of two minds about whether they'd spotted both players, whether they were both coming from that same position, worried about the prospect of a flank, only for Barton to be the main concern.
Dumao and Barton, man, they have been very much the main concerns this entire map, it seems like. Phelps, however, he's been concerning me a fair bit with some of these plays. He's down to 31 HP already and can't really retreat back courtesy of his Molotov behind him. Turns out running through fire and 30 HP isn't very easy.
Yeah, let's not get the hot coals out. Potential swing round at play here for either side. Money is not exactly heavily built up. See Walko on the SMG, but there's a whole lot of util, a whole lot more than what GODSENT can bring to the table. So if they're able to bait out more here from the GODSENT side, that would be great.
But that's the second time.
Yeah, that's a nice catch.
That seems like a bit of a read as well. It seems every single time RBG's throwing the smoke, Phelps has been able to catch them out. Chop has to be counting his lucky star that he's not been dinked down. With 50 seconds, RBG can still make the call. They've been very good about rotating back to B. But what's it going to be? They've got a lot more concentrated over here in ramp and in the alley. And with Taco having this forward position on the B bomb side with Barton behind him, they're so much more secure about this. And now comes the utility. Now comes a rain of fire. 30 seconds on the clock. They're trying to move in and get the bomb plant out. Molly to the back of the bomb side as well. And although there's return fire, it's too late. The bomb's already down. Utility still present. Flashes aplenty as well as an incendiary. Now Barton and company want to go in together. They're going to have the smokes to go for the retake smokes, but the question is, are they going to be able to get onto the bomb site in time? Smoking off alley is important. It's a good start. And a second one likely to be used soon as well. But a Molotov to the back of the bomb site is perfectly placed. They're going to have to extinguish it soon. Hex has already come through with the first. He can even line up a few more. They're trying to stick it, but they're forced off. Flato with a big one. Phelps has combined his forces, and they've got it done, but they can't get the defuse in time. RBG are going to find the 7th.
Terrorists win.
4 players up for GODSENT, no survivors for RBG. The smokes for the retake were right on point there for GODSENT, if not slightly delayed. If not for the fact that that first player that jumps on the defuse is plucked out, that's a GODSENT round. You can see they took double elevation, trying to get on top of that super box to deal with the ramp pressure, because they were going to be spamming away vigorously through those smokes. They got every kill they needed to for that retake, but losing the diffuser was such an important piece of that. RBG going to be happy that that's been whisked away, because had GODSENT reacted fast enough to how those flurry of frags, they might have been able to jump on in time, but an RBG 7th.
And it all comes down to that Molotov that RBG decide to use early on as well, instead of trying to use it on the bomb, Michael. They're just fine with delaying it for a little while longer.
Well, what was cool about that last execute is that they didn't really use smokes. They just threw Molotovs and then trickled in. And you could see GODSENT were kind of playing for the retake, even though they could have had a couple of these sightlines to take fights. Wanted to work the numbers advantage instead, and so it's a good leveraging of utility there from RBG.
Oh, Jitter's in a perfect position to get a quick kill, but he misses his chance. So what could have been a 5v4 turned in their favor is now a bit of information given over to GODSENT, and Taco's feeling frisky, might even want to peek. He's taking the bookshelf position, but over in mid. Actually, hold the point over back in B. Taco, great flash from Duma will net him a quick kill.
Barn feeling a little bit of pressure. Molly sailing overhead, but the smoke right in the face of Chop. Wanted to get himself in towards that jump up. But a small gap. That doesn't feel like by design, but Barn just gets a bit inquisitive. Duma as well has come in, and it's all just whiz, but not for too much longer. The Duma double is certainly a nice addition to the tally. He's been having a great half all in all. And given the money here from RBG, it's shaping up to be a potential 8th on the cards. Only pistols is what they'll have to contend with.
And if RBG are able to bring this one together, man, I am going to be impressed. Now, that being said, let's not forget last time these two teams played each other, RBG were on 5-7 on their T side before losing that. So this is already a pretty good score. Phelps, however, meanwhile, all over the place, but that's a nice thing about laser beams, Michael. They go where they're told to, and he's able to find the second as well as a result of that.
Yeah, death in mid, but Hex isn't going to stick around to recover that weapon. Very much in enemy territory, so they're going to instead group up with the rest of the squad. Of course, with that lurking play, they did pluck out one of those B defenders, and you can see GODSENT are now rotating in, thinking maybe RBG have more control of this than we thought.
They would be right. That is the intended destination for Flight RBG. And as they start serving up the in-flight snacks, a couple of smokes and whatnot to go out as well. Barden is going to come through. Remind them, you can't smoke on an airplane, sir. Hex, however, doesn't care about Barden. He smacks him aside, and now he's got to deal with the air marshals, all three of them. GODSENT on the other side, trying to box him in, triangulating forward, using these smokes as defense, and a shot to the back of his head is going to sit him down. 8 for GODSENT, and we've got to go to a break to see what they've got in store for us in that second half.
Yeah. La 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 la. Yeah. Your life hits hard, but I hit right back. I never back down. I keep it on track. It's the same day with no problems. I keep rising from the bottom. Cause when the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love, I can hear that sound. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now, and then I need to worry about, cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright. It's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe, cause I got no problems. Yes, every day was a war. Yeah, it kinda took a while. When they tell me I should stay, I just jump with a smile. Yeah, it's hard until you notice. Everybody's got their moment. When the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love, I can hear the sound. Listen up. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now, and then I need to worry about, cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright. It's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe, cause I got no problems. Cause I got no problems. Cause I got no problems. Do you feel a little down? Say it. No problems. Let you in, but you out. Sing it. No problems. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now. Had none I need to worry about, cause I got no problems. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now. Had none I need to worry about, cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright. It's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe, cause I got no problems.
I'm like a puppet in your show. Just pull my strings and watch me go, go, go.
Two, one. And we're back into things. It's GODSENT who've taken the lead at the very end of the first half, and RBG, of course, we've got a song dedicated out to them in that break time. You know, they got no problems, hopefully, but feel like the vibe might still be killed. We'll have to wait to see in this pistol round. Michael, Yumi, Cassidy on the microphone with me as always.
Yeah, I think both teams have had their fair share of problems, so not exactly the best.
Yeah, but you're not going to kill their vibe. They got
okay, yeah, please just make it stop. Second half in in full effect. GODSENT, of course, with 2 belts of utility. They are slow working this A-ramp position, and RBG aren't really peeking behind smokes deployed. Like they've even got the additional Molotov to play around with. Some of that utility already being expended. I said 2, but really what I meant to say was 3.
Ah, indeed. More than 2.
Yeah,
sweet check.
Just that one more. Lotto's expended all of his utility, though, clearing out the sandbags, and RBG are very passive setup on A.
I will be able to just move on to the bomb site and get a plant in very quickly if they'd like to, but expecting the nades. But Wiz, he's wise to it. Now comes out that late nade. Barden feeling the pain, feeling the burn, and feeling the shrapnel inside of the side of his head. Now, RBG still have to actually scale onto the bomb site. They've got the double smoke flashbang ready for the full retake, and how are they going to choose to use it? When are they going to choose to use it? Chop with a clean shot early in, and a second to double it up. Phelps is trying to bring it back in between him and Lana. They've got a couple of big ones. That's shot from Phelps to the end of things. Woo. Coming hot and bothered.
They just have the advanced position of Lotto and then Phelps on the bomb site. Just between the two of them, just completely shut down the push there from RBG. They actually looked a little bit almost confused, or maybe just running through what the discussions were leading into this map, because they were all so heavily clustered together. You sort of bumping heads inside the connector almost by elevator. But the quick collapse sees no success. So great job from the two of them. GODSENT get themselves that pistol. Didn't exactly have to fight too hard to get that bomb planted. The cleanup was also nice. Phelps has really done a lot to bounce back as well. Started off a little rough coming into this map. Felt like he was getting kind of not so much anti-stratted, but they were doing a really good job of limiting what Phelps could get up to. Like for him to see a resurgence in that first half. So RBG, they go for the force buy. You know, they've got the SMGs, the Deegs, whatever. But it's going to see too much work. The GODSENT are taking things nice and slow. Not making any real sudden moves. Don't want to fall into any traps. Which we can see, RBG aren't even laying any, really.
I mean, you never know, Michael. I mean, that's just a trap. And get you into false sense of security, and suddenly comes a jitter with a couple of big deagles. Have to wait to see if he can make that big deeg play. And he's gonna maybe start to move out over. They haven't used a Molotov on him just quite yet. Taco almost goes by unnoticed, left with 2 HP. Not too happy about it, but at least he gets to stay alive for a while longer to be traded away by his teammate Lotto. That's a jump on a chop in exchange for his life. And Dumao comes in from behind. Lots of time bought, and he's been told, hey, there's still one more player on the bomb side, and Walco's been able to find him. Galil picked up, moving back. Quick shot forward. Could be a big one. Phelps needed to move out of there. Walco and Wiz don't have much HP, but hey, I wouldn't blame Walco for going for a few more at this stage. But now that his teammate's gone, yeah, might have wanted to back off of that Galil.
Yeah, I think if he wanted to continue taking those fights, because he was 1 HP, I actually think he needed to stick with a deagle, weirdly enough. If you were going to come out swinging and hitting the instant headshot, you're pretty much dead most times. Nice little play even just to get those 2 kills. Does keep the economy of GODSENT relatively in check. So you're not running away with things just yet. But now a conversion round on the table here for GODSENT. And that means chances for this SMG to farm some cash.
Cash, money, dollar. Oh no, I'm dead. I always like to think that everyone who's using an SMG in Counter-Strike, when they know they're an anti-eco, they just have a soundtrack going on in the back of their head. You know, like in Baby Driver, you've got all those soundtracks whenever he's going out for like a big old getaway car or something.
I feel like that's a pretty good summation of my Pug experience, in all fairness. It's like, hey guys, what do you want to do this round? No response. Everyone just buys SMGs and runs out.
Hey, Michael, I believe there's a technical term for that. It's called a good time. Michael, stop being a buzzkill.
Yeah, I'm trying to win the game, man. Then these guys are like, oh, why did you get any kills when they ran in with an SMG and got 1 kill max, but is in a real weird spot? I can
one
vent.
more than you, Michael. But hey, enough about your venting. It's time to see what kind of exhaust fumes GODSENT are going to be letting out, because they've really been accelerating. Question is that carbon monoxide going to be catching back up to them? Wiz, meanwhile, scoped in, has to be careful not to overpeak this. There is a boost on this side, which he's now made aware of.
Ooh. Certainly a chance there for Wiz. Just around the smoke. The nade does connect, though, so a whole lot of damage, if nothing else. They can fall back safely. I think Wiz is going to be content with that, though. See him priming up a flash. I think Walco wants the peak, and Phelps will eat this flash head on.
That's a beautiful flash for Phelps' position in particular. And now that he's revealed where he is, he just wants to back off and get the hell out of there. Now remember, this B bomb site's got a lot of forward-facing operatives who are trying to get in behind enemy lines. Shot being the key one of them. Jitter will have to hold the line for a little while longer, 40 seconds. A flashbang would really tee him up for success. Taco's just boosted up, waiting out for any sort of aggression to come through. A run boost almost being missed. Have to be careful about that one. A Molotov right underneath him. I think that was actually from his own player that bumped into his backside. 20 seconds. Bomb's being plotted. Phelps is going to use the point to aggress forward and find Hex. Got him off, and RBG might just have to save unless this backline agent can come in big. Chop. Waiting it out. You can get a few quick kills. Maybe there's still something to be done over here, but Walco and Wiz are the ones who actually frag out. Walco not left with any HP.
Yeah, if they'd gotten these kills a little bit cleaner here on the side of RBG, you know, the threat of the flank, they could have actually effectively run back if they'd found all these kills. GODSENT get a little too quick on the chase there. Still so much time on that clock, but that is no longer available as an option here for RBG, just to go and save instead with that Walco 1 HP.
Oh,
He won't survive.
indeed he won't.
Yeah, I don't think that was supposed to be a run boost for Taco, just to clarify. I'm pretty sure all he wanted to do was run off that guy's head and get himself on the catwalk quite quickly.
True.
You know, just so that he's not running through the smoke.
Yeah,
It was dissipating,
I
but
just meant he's running on a boost, to be honest. You're right, it was an actual run boost.
yeah. No, it sort of seemed like one of those things where it's like, oh my god, it could have been quite dangerous, but you know, he's not gonna fumble the movement.
Oh, dangerous, Michael. You want to talk about quite dangerous? Wiz is experiencing the danger of Phelps, as you love to see.
I think he wanted to chase, but he missed the jump, so
Yeah.
thinks better of it. Sounds like giving up.
Oh, still gets him a kill. It is the Afterlife that claims him eventually, courtesy of the flames of Wiz, but even so, a kill and a lot of damage, he's happy for it with that.
Slow lurking from Taco. Yeah, the smoke is pretty well timed here from RBG. Flash as well, and Taco is here a little early.
Oh!
There's Doom coming in right from behind Taco, stealing it right from under his nose. The chop still goes by unchecked, and one is going to be enough because that gives enough room for Wiz to stay safe and allow Hex to make his play.
An opportunity's been opened up, but they need Wiz to come up with at least one kill over here in this close range duel. Lado, however, has just got the advantage, but what a shot from Hex. Finds him through the smoke, and now it's all about this 1v1. He doesn't have a kit, so has to run it down very quickly, straight over. And as he's crossing over the bookshelf, he's got the pre-fire. Hex has got it done. Lots of time for the defuse as well. RBG find themselves their miracle 8 and an op right next to him that can be saved as well.
And that's big. Wiz getting those 2 kills when he did. I mean, the Molotov play over towards short at A, that's what gives Hex that AK coming in for that retake. It's why he was so delayed about coming in for the B retake. And this snap reaction, as soon as Wiz gets killed through the edge of the smoke, for him to just dial in for the exact position he needed to. That is so ridiculous. No armor, no weapon coming into the round, and he comes up big for RBG to get their first here on the CT side.
Oh, it's huge. Oh, careful now. Very fast up. They are getting in. Good opportunity for Phelps to maybe get a quick nade out, but Wiz with a flash in his hand has already gone down. Not expecting the W parade, but Hex is still here to come and lead the charge back against it. Walco trying to retreat, cut off with his back turn. Lado trying to take him out. And I don't mean to a nice steak dinner. It's Hex to come through, and he's going to be giving them greener pastures. 3 kills for him. Again, stepping up when he's needed the most, but Chop unable to find a frag, just puts his bomb site underneath. Heavy duress. Jitter pointed him out as looking good earlier on, but he hasn't had a great game so far. This would be a great point to be able to move in, and he's revealed his position as the grenade collides to him, and he knows he can't even run back without giving away that positioning advantage that he might be able to find. There's a flash and a molly, but no smokes. An opportunity truly here. Jitter can even cross over. If he can prevent these players from jumping across, this would be massive. Clock's ticking down. They've got to go very soon, or is the flashbang going to be used? Jitter's being given time aplenty.
Yeah.
They think they're making him make a mistake. Instead, they're just giving him a comfort zone. Jitter peeks out. Jitter can't get it though. Plays it perfectly, but at the end, when he's needed the most, just can't step up.
Yeah, and you might look at that and think it's a bit odd. You know, GODSENT makes so much noise running over towards that B bomb site. You know, you can hear it all the way through. But the fact that they slow down and grind to a halt only to wait, they're expecting that Jitter is going to double think that. There is always that chance that GODSENT make that noise and then start walking their way back towards that A site. Would have cut things close, but you could see Jitter actually wanted to investigate that B bomb site to eliminate that as a possibility as well. So he was still kind of caught out by that decision tree. So even though things got a little bit dicey, GODSENT did have a fully controlling position, and now starting out with a spam through smoke.
Yeah. Seemed like Phelps had the other way around every single time. Barden wants to stick true to the tradition of dominating the cross alley angle.
I've always loved the mentality of playing both sides of the same position. So playing T side A ramp, playing CT side A ramp. I feel like you understand what's available to you as a T-sided player, and so that actually allows you to effectively counter as a CT player as well.
Careful now, Phelps knows exactly what's going on here. He's got himself another one, Michael. And like you said, he's just keyed in. This is my territory. I played there as CT. I've been boosted up there before.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Terrorists win.
Like, this is a very quiet A ramp. You know, we're not getting flashes thrown at us. We're not getting spammed through the wood. There's no nades sailing at us. What could they be up to? What kind of trick could they pull out? Only for the little gopher to rear its head over the edge of the wall and just go, oh, bonk.
Hey, you don't get to do that against a Karate Kid. You get chopsticked out. I still remember the scenes where, you know, in the cartoons they would show someone like catching a fly with chopsticks. I was always just wondering, is that actually possible?
I feel like it is.
Is it?
Yeah? If you can pick up a single grain of rice, you can pick a fly out of the air.
I mean, out of the air, it's a little bit harder. Taco shows us exactly why. Jitter up on the stairs. And he's sent home. And now Phelps has got a chance to push through the smoke as well. Every single timing is just working out for them. GODSENT are playing this D side to perfection.
Oh,
yeah.
Definitely a chance at a kill over at B there from Chop, but instead it leads into more casualties. Actually being able to go 1 for 1, not enough. Hext has been so good here on the CT side as well, putting himself in the right positions to find these multi-kills. Even, it doesn't matter which weapon it's been, the AUG has been the primary for sure. Now that bomb planted at B, we're still concerned about the lurk. What else could you do other than save? By around the corner is not exactly the prettiest. And if you're Wiz, every time you've had an AWP, I'm pretty sure he's found that 1 or that 2 kills in the round, but it hasn't always resulted in round wins off the back of it. The limitations of the CT side have been that they are just losing a lot of these opening fights.
Oh, that's quite nice. Admittedly, I think that might actually decrease his chances of survival because he does reveal his position, but even so, we can wait to see. Lada's got himself a grenade. That's going to be chalked in deep. Should be at the very least. And peeking out behind it, is able to keep himself alive.
I will make an amendment. I think I said Wiz got basically got a kill every time he had an AWP, except for that one time I think he like sat at the sandbags and threw a Molotov.
Yeah.
I can't remember if he had an AWP or not.
Yeah,
but
he had a flashbang in his hand after that too. I think he had an M4 though.
Yeah, it just seemed like a weird play and basically like a dead round from him, because the whole point of those sandbags is that, you know, maybe they don't clear you, but if you throw a Molotov from there, it kind of gives it away.
And you're caught with a grenade in your hand afterwards as well.
Yeah,
doesn't really
that
help.
doesn't help.
Yeah. Phelps though, this time boosted up and he's found Wiz. Wiz is not like Waldo, Michael. He's apparently been quite easy to find in many of these rounds.
Yeah, this is Phelps territory.
Yeah.
Even with the slow start coming into this map, he's now top in the charts. So back with a vengeance.
Taco, meanwhile, oh no, Michael, you're talking about territory. Taco just owns these terrors. These you're not allowed to sit here. You're not allowed to use these. You're gonna climb your way up. Use a boost or something. Chop will finally take him down, but even so, it's already a 4v2, and it seems like the round's all but gone. Hex and Chop have had some big moments. Could this be one of them? What an adjustment on the spray, but even then, it's only one that he can even find. Hex now completely relying on his teammate, and Chop's not being able to line up the nade or the Molotov under default. Oh, good adjustment at the very least. Gives himself a chance, even if his HP's been whittled down to nothingness. That chance is looking mighty difficult when he smokes himself off there, and he's managed to move through it, sure, but 2 angles, 2 players, 2 little HP. 16th round for GODSENT. They are going to be able to take RBG's own map away against them. First half looked competitive.